Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. We got a lot to talk about on tonight's show. First of all, I'd like to thank Skull Gang Studios and the Sports Talk with the Cowboy crew and staff for these jerseys that we all have. Beautiful jerseys, monogram with the Skull Gang Studio logo on one patch and the Sports Talk with the Cowboy logo on the other. So thank you very much to the studio and all involved in these beautiful jerseys we have. Now I'm going to go on to the NFL and start talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers training camp, which starts July 27th at One Buck Place. They will start then, and until then, there's pretty much no news with the Buccaneers. Gage has been working out at the facility. He's had a minor injury. Chris Godwin's rehabbing. Some of the players are working out every day at the facility at One Buck Place. Organized training camp, those starts to July 27th. There will be an exemption for those teams who have new head coaches, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a new head coach, as do the Jacksonville Jaguars and other teams. So they get an exemption to start a week ahead of time. So as far as any news with the Bucs, nothing breaking. No news with Ron Gronkowski. He has retired, as you know. We had stated that on the last show. Though we also have said, as DJX and others have said, that we believe that he will return to the Bucs sometime this year. And one of the things he said before he retired was if he had Julian Edelman on the roster, that would certainly bring him back. And I have some reason to believe that Julian Edelman might sign a veteran minimum contract with the Bucs by training camp, possibly. But nothing has been official on that. We'll see in the next few weeks. There'll be 90 people out there trying to make a 53-man roster, as we all know. So Baker Mayfield, another news story in the offseason, has been traded today to the Carolina Panthers. So Baker Mayfield is now a Panther from Carolina. He was traded for a 2024 draft pick. The Cleveland Browns ate a $10.4 million of his contract. The Carolina Panthers picked up about $5 million on the contract, and there's about $3 million with incentives for Mayfield to make the 18. But I'm certain that the incentives are pretty easy to meet, like show up for training camp, be on the roster at preseason, be on the roster in the first game of the season. Pretty simple targets, because I'm sure Mayfield didn't leave with the Browns owing him $18 million if he just walked out the door. So these incentives they're talking about, the Panthers they're pretty much gimmies, pretty much, I would suspect. We don't know the details, but Baker Mayfield is the Carolina Panthers. That's breaking NFL news, and we've gathered that information in just the last 3 hours. So I'm going to move on from the NFL because there's not much else to say about them until training camp gets going, and go to the United States Football League, which had their championship game Sunday, July 3rd at Tom Benson Stadium at the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And the Birmingham Stallions defeated the Philadelphia Stars to be the first United States Football League champion in the rebirth. Congratulations to the Birmingham Stallions and their coach, Skip Holtz. And congratulations to the city of Birmingham for hosting the USFL. Congratulations to the United States Football League for making it 1 year in existence. You have won. You are a champion. You have delivered a championship game. So congratulations to everyone. We know when the season starts next year. It'll start on Easter weekend, and it'll end the 4th of July weekend. So that's good to know what next year brings to the United States Football League, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that. And now I'm going to go a little bit with the Tampa Bay Lightning's trade of Ryan McDonough to the Nashville Predator hockey team. It really is a deep trade. Ryan McDonough was a great player for this team. He was the ex-captain of the New York Rangers. He's been with the Lightning through this ride to the Stanley Cups. He loved it in the Tampa Bay area. He loved the team. He loved the organization. He gave his heart every day out on that ice, and he's a great player. He's going to be sorely missed, Lightning fans. Ryan McDonough is a person who really wanted to be here and finish out a long-term deal, but he has been traded to Nashville for cash considerations or ability to re-sign players, is the understanding that Breezewall, the general manager, gave. of the Tampa Bay trade of Ryan McDonough. But I just wanted to bring that out with the Lightning and touch upon that trade and how great of a player he was for our organization. And now we're going to go to Major League Baseball, where the Tampa Bay Rays defeated last night the Boston Red Sox 8-4. They were defeated 4-0 the day before that. They're enrolled in a Boston Red Sox game tonight as the airing and taping of this show. And they will play between the Yankees and the Red Sox over the next 16 days. They'll play 14 times between the Red Sox and the Yankees, the Rays. This is the time of year where they have a series up in Boston and a series down in Tampa. The same with the Yankees, a series in New York and a series in Tampa. But they intertwine, and the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Rays will play all these games within the next few weeks. So it's going to be big because they're in the East with us, and it's going to be, of course, the Yankees, as we all know, is way out ahead, but you can make up ground when you're playing them head-to-head. And so that's about all going on with the Rays. And so what we're going to do now is go to the question and answers. And the first question today is from Murray. And Murray wanted to know, what about the Indianapolis Colts this season? And Murray, I think the Indianapolis Colts will be a better team with Matt Ryan as a quarterback. I think they have a good running back and one of the best rookie running backs last year. And I think the Indianapolis Colts, with their good line and a good defense, will be a very formidable team in the South of the AFC. They play, as you know, against Tennessee, Jacksonville, and Houston. Even though I believe Houston and Jacksonville will be better teams, I believe the Colts can be the champions of that division. And I think the Tennessee Titans and all will be, again, their biggest foe. But I think the Jaguars and the Texans will be improved. But the Colts overall is a playoff team, and Matt Ryan's going to put them where you want to be, I think. So God bless you, and thank you for your question. And the next question is from Katie, and Katie lives in Sebring, and she wanted to know about the 24 hours of Le Mans and its track downtown and how it was different from the 12 hours of Sebring track. And Katie, the track at Sebring is an old runway that was used in World War II as an Air Force base. A lot of concrete runways. Le Mans in France is a road course in a city. It uses regular roads and highways. So their track is longer. It's 8 miles, where ours is only 3.7. The old track out at the 12 hours of Sebring was 5.2 miles. And we used some outer runways out at the Sebring 12-hour track. But in Le Mans, in France, it runs through the towns, it runs down city streets, and on highways. That's why it's over 8 miles long, the track itself, which is the biggest track, I believe, in the world as far as international racing is concerned, 8-mile track. Not rally racing, but actual racing. So thank you for your question, and God bless you for your support. DJX, what you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know how we do it. Let's get right off into it. NBC Sports, Chicago. White Sox beat Twins in extra innings. Eloy Jimenez hits home run.
Well, they've been playing good ball, and they've been putting the ball over the fence. And the White Sox have been playing some pretty good ball up in Chicago. And they were in a slump the first part of the season, but they've climbed their way back into the race, and we've got a long way to go.
White Sox, Young Moncada left Wednesday's game with right foot contusion.
I understand he was hurt out in the field of play. I don't know how long he'll be hurt, but I understand he won't be in the lineup for at least the next few series.
Detroit Tigers beat the Cleveland Guardians 8-2. Game 3 recap.
Well, the Tigers beat the Guardians, which we all know was the Indians, but we can't use that name because it's politically incorrect. But that is the Indians we're talking about when we say Cleveland Guardians. And yes, Detroit, again, there's a team that has not had many accolades put to it and didn't expect to play that good, and they're up there playing a 500 ball, almost 500 ball, and not even at midway point, so they're doing a real good job, Detroit is.
Baker Mayfield was traded to the Carolina for the 5th round pick that can improve with playmakers, league sources confirmed to Yahoo Sports.
Yes, Mayfield's been traded. And when you really think about it, Mayfield was the first overall pick in 2018's NFL draft. Guess who was the 3rd pick in the NFL draft 2018? His name was Sam Donald, the 3rd overall pick. They're both on the same team now. Mayfield went to Carolina. Sam Donald's in Carolina. Sam Donald didn't do it in New York Jets. Went to Carolina, didn't get it done last year. Mayfield leaves Cleveland, shows up in Carolina. Donald's got a $12 million guaranteed contract. Mayfield's got his $18 million. I believe they'll keep both players. But when you really think about it, in 2018, the first name called in the draft on that draft night was Baker Mayfield. The third name was called Sam Donald. And on the same team now.
Oh, okay. 49ers options with Jimmy Garoppolo limited after Baker Mayfield.
Well, you know, Jimmy, you know how Jimmy is. He wins games, even though he don't play pretty. He plays sloppy. But, you know, he wins. Okay, and that's really what matters.
That's what it's about.
And he went and got that surgery and didn't let nobody know he's going to have it, so his damn trade value went to hell. You know what I mean? He went and had this surgery on his arm. So now he's back. And, you know, the 49ers want to go with Trey Lance as their quarterback. Here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy, let me tell you about Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance is going to do it. I think Trey Lance is a 500 quarterback, and he might be greater than that, but I don't think Trey Lance is the franchise quarterback. He is not elite quarterback to me. You say, well, how do you know Cowboys never played? I don't know. But if I was the 49ers, I'd keep Jimmy Garoppolo in there. You know why? Because he got you to one game from the Super Bowl. He's got you to the Super Bowl. He's got you in the playoffs the last 3 years. Okay? Now, if it was me and I wasn't getting nothing for him, if I tried to trade him or get rid of him, why would you not have him on your team? You know, like we say, anybody could get hurt at any given time.
Right.
So you like Baker. He's there with the, you know.
He did get hurt. And you know, in the NFL, that's a factor.
That is a factor. It is a factor.
Big factor.
And Garoppolo wanted out of San Francisco. I mean, he wanted out right before even free agent came. He said, "Listen, I'd want to be traded to a contender." This is when Brady was retired, and then the Bucs were looking at quarterbacks.
Right.
And he made that clear that he wanted to be traded to a contender, and that was edging because this is right after Brady retired. You know, hey, come get me. There was a lot of talk in Tampa that Garoppolo was coming.
Right.
Then the surgery.
See.
Then the value just like bloop.
Right. You know how they go. Right. 5 Buckeyes featured in latest draft wire mock.
Mock draft, Ohio State, always great players. I guarantee you got 5 from the Crimson Tide from Alabama, and you got 5 from Georgia, and you got about 4 or 5 from Clemson. We can sit here and tell you where the players are coming from. Ladies and gentlemen, we know where they're coming from. You talk about the top 10 college programs in Division I football, that's where they're coming from, mostly. You know what I mean? So, yes, that does surprise me one bit, the Buckeyes to have 5.
Okay. Ranking the AFC East top 20 skill position players entering 2022.
Yeah, they got polls of all the rankings of all the players and what they feel that they'll do so people can get their fantasy football and all this stuff ready and all the information. The main things, ladies and gentlemen, to remember on this stuff is, listen, watch them, see them. When you see them, you know it. When you see a winner, you know it. We know it, you know it. And that's how you tell if there are any players. You know, just they had accolades here last year. That was last year. It's not this year. Some of these players that they got on that list, all these rookies that are in camp, these other undrafted free agents, we ain't even seen them. So preseason, we'll see them. There's going to be some step up preseason. You're going to see them and say, hey, that player right there looked pretty good. You're going to see him another week. Hey, he looked good again. Well,
well, I'm going to leave it right there, Cowboy. That's how we keep it real on this show.
Well, God bless you all. God bless you for your support, for all the fans out there that watch our show and support us. And let me say that we are going to take a little break. You can watch our show, but it won't be any new show until we come back on August the 5th. That's August the 5th of 2022. And we're going to be airing our show a day after the Hall of Fame game. Jacksonville will be playing in it up in Canton, Ohio, which will be the first preseason game. And our first show will be aired on the 5th day of August. So we're going to take a few weeks here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy, and because we're going to go from the time we get back right on through it all. So continue to leave your comments, send your comments, continue to subscribe. I want to thank each and every single one of you for your support. We have great numbers. Our programming has been accepted in a wide range of areas. Many professional programming directors at radios are talking about even airing us on radio. in the near future. But this is the main bread and butter of Skull Gang and Sports Talk with the Cowboy, and we appreciate your support. Continue to support us on our vacation, our closer for a few weeks. You can continue to watch us, but it won't be any new show until the 5th of August. So God bless you. Thank you. Cowboy out.